welcome to my channel. Such a pleasure to be back. My name is Ada, and online where we talk about your psychology and how you can figure stuff out. I like to call it therapy because, well, therapy is when you kind of deal with things you don't understand about yourself. So I'm hoping that these videos, although they're not professional advice that I give, I would, however, implore you to please seek professional help when you are looking into these topics that I discuss. Other than that, this is for enlightenment and for a better understanding above the peer or above the general populace. Gen Pop. So guys, today's topic, I know I have a video somewhere where I talk about, probably my early videos about the 5 emotions, and anger was on that list, and I did say I was going to talk about anger sometime in the future. Well, hello 2020. What a perfect year for anger, right? So guys, I want to talk about anger as a natural and mostly automatic response to that we have to things, to emotions such as pain. Pain is a very strong stimuli. It could be external, it could be internal. External means you hit your foot on something, or you get struck by a person or by whatever causes you pain. Pain can come from internal stimuli such as a stomach, an aching stomach, a headache, digestive issues, acid refluxes, ulcer, or it could even be emotional pain. The loss of someone, frustration for not getting, or disappointment for not getting something, or not getting something you want if you do get something. So pain can be both an internal and external stimuli, okay? And now the part of the brain in charge of external stimuli is the amygdala. Very, very closely connected. The amygdala is very, very closely connected with the emotion of fear. Yes. Fear is that response that makes us go fight or flight. We'll talk about the amygdala much later. So what is anger? It's, like I said, it's natural and sometimes it's automatic. However, anger is not so automatic that you don't see it coming. Why? Because we call anger a substitute emotion, aka second-hand emotion. And why is this? Well, when you feel pain, okay, your foot hits something, or someone, whether internal or external, you experience pain, you're supposed to deal with that, right? But anger acts as a distraction from dealing with the source of your frustration or pain. Usually when you hit your foot, it's like, darn it. You could either move whatever was in your way, or move away from your attacker, or find a solution. While you're looking for a solution, you're not focused. The only energy, the only effort you're putting all the effort into finding a solution to the pain. Anger only arises when you're not able to deal with the pain, or you are feeling when you don't want to deal with the pain. Anger arises, first there's the pain, you deal with, you resolve it. But if you aren't able to resolve it, or you are unwilling to resolve that pain, then something else has to take its place. And that is where anger comes in as a substitute emotion. So anger is, we're angry at the person or thing that caused our pain. Now, as weird as it sounds, it is absolutely plausible, guys, because there are times for someone who's grieving, they're angry at the world, at God, or even the dead person. They're having difficulties dealing with their pain, but there are people who would have resolved that life brings things your way and you have to respond. So at the end of the day, you have to respond to any situation. You can respond by level-headed thinking and taking action that provides with a temporary solution or progressive solution. I don't want to say permanent solution, because permanent could be relative. A solution for when you are young and a solution for when you get older, you could excuse, you know. So let's talk about, what can occur when you're angry. You maybe feel rejected or threatened or lost. I said that. And it's also combined with the emotion, something you're triggered, you know, when you combine pain with thoughts. Remember, when I processed the mindset, reprogramming your mind equation, first you have the event and then you process it through your thoughts, and those thoughts will generate the emotion that you're moving forward with. Now, if the emotion you're moving forward with is positive, you're going to automatically move forward with a positive action. And if you're moving forward with a negative emotion, you will also respond with the corresponding negative behavior. So you have your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. That's when I talked about the REBT. That is the rational, emotion, behavior. The T is for therapy. Okay, guys? So when you talk about processing anger as a substitute emotion, you have whatever the external stimuli, and then what are you processing? Now, when we remove thought out of it, it looks like you still have a behavior. Now, the thing is, our prefrontal cortex, okay, is in charge of judgment, rationale. If we shut this out, now let's talk about fear in the amygdala. Fear can be irrational based off the fact that you're afraid. Guess what? When fear kicks in, the rationale is shut down. Why? Because fear goes through, how do I put it? Your rationale is like in the front, and emotion is in the middle, and animal behavior is at the back, if I should construct how that cycle of taking action in the brain. When you're able to process it in the prefrontal cortex, you can think, you can take your time, you can process your emotion, process your thought, and take a decisive action. Now, if it doesn't get there and it comes up here, the middle, where you have emotion, you're going to have an emotional reaction. You're going to cry, you're going to be upset, you're going to get angry. Now, that animal brain is the ancestral, is the what we call the primitive, primordial animal instincts. Okay? That means something lands beside you and you jump. Someone tries to scare you and you flinch. Those are like automatic responses or reactions coming from our instincts. Okay? Now, if your prefrontal cortex, in charge of rationale, is not, it's shut off, and it's not in the emotional part where you go whining, complaining, because emotions are usually whine, complain. You're going to go straight to the animal part of your brain, which is going to do what animal would do. And if someone threatens you, you just fisticuffs. A threat, if you're thinking with the irrational brain, you might move back and like, what is going on? Whereas on the emotional brain is, why does it happen to me? The animal brain is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, nail for a nail. Let's get it done. Okay? So when it comes to anger, now anger can circumvent this brain parts. And if the prefrontal cortex is not in charge, if it's not holding your brain accountable, it's like, if you don't know what anger management is, because it's controlled. It can control your emotion, because anger is a secondary emotion. That means the prefrontal cortex is supposed to deal and rationalize and judge the pain. How do we move forward with this painful incident or painful stimuli?
if you're not able to deal with it, this is when the emotion of anger in the middle brain is initiated. Now, the problem is when you're acting from your emotion, whether it's crying or sad, whether it's happiness, sadness, or anger, if this is not determining what the animal brain, what action you take, if the emotion determines what action you take, it's like the emotion leaves you in limbo. And guess what? The animal brain is gonna take action. That's what the emotion does. Emotion kind of leaves you in limbo because you're just whining, oh, it's me, oh, it's not me, why not me? And you're not dealing with the pain. So what comes is, if it's sadness, your body's gonna respond. If it's anger, your body's also gonna respond. Now, how does your body respond if the emotion you choose is anger? Don't forget, emotion is gonna leave you in limbo in terms of decision, and one part of the brain needs to take action. Anger. Now, anger is a messenger who you did not send. But if you leave anger to take the reins, it is destructive. For Christians, the Bible says, be angry, but do not sin. Now, it's a double-edged sword, because why do I say it's a double-edged sword? Be angry means be angry, but make sure that make sure the prefrontal cortex is in charge of your thoughts, because that way you can be angry. That means you're still not dealing with the source of your pain. You're not letting your emotions decide your action. You're still thinking. That means you're withholding action. Remember when you get someone upsets you or does something you don't like, and you just pause and take a minute. That pause and take a minute isn't like it's not fashionable, it's not like you're being sophisticated. Your brain is thinking. Your thinking brain is trying to rationalize the next course of action. These things happen in seconds, and that's why they say count to 10, breathe, so that you can give your rational thinking brain enough time to decide a positive, albeit non-aggressive, non-combative solution. Because if your thinking brain does not complete the loop of what action to take, your animal brain is going to take action. So self-control comes from your ability to give your thinking brain enough time to respond. Okay, so let's get back to anger. Part of anger is, now when you get angry, because pain means you're feeling pain, you're self-focused when you're feeling pain. But when you no longer want to be self-focused and you move to the emotion of anger, now anger is like, let's take them down. So you move from self-focus to other people focus. Okay? That is what anger does, because it distracts you from your pain and distracts you from focusing on what you've done or what you can do about the situation to what others have done and what others need to do to rectify the situation. Take road rage, for instance. Someone who's angry, someone swipes you, whatever it's called, on the road, nearly knocking you into another vehicle, cuts you off at the red light or traffic signal lights and whatever. You could just, terrible driving, rationalize it depending on how you see drivers. But if you feel nobody can cut you off and get away with it, the minute that person sideswipes you, oh my God, you will give a chase and then take action. Okay? Because now and here's the thing. Before anger, just know that there's a primary emotion that you are not taking care of, and That's usually frustration, disgust. Take care of the primary emotion, because anger is like a knight, warrior. Anger is a warrior who only takes command, and its only command is to strike. Like, have you ever heard of a lethal tactical weapons unit, or, well, I don't want to say SWAT, right? Something, but it's like when you deploy a certain unit of the army, they're in combat mode, they're in destructo mode, they're not wait and think, they're not diplomatic. Your anger is not diplomatic. Anger is go and strike. Okay, so when it comes to the emotion of anger, please understand that there's nothing, I wouldn't say there's nothing good coming out of it, but know that you are in denial when you're angry. Yes, because anger is distracting you from the main thing, from the main issue, and that is look at the pain and then understand or rationalize why it feels so bad, why you feel so frustrated. If someone cuts you off on the road, why does it hurt so much? Why do you put so much why do you attach so much importance to that experience? First, you have to realize that whether it's intentional or unintentional, even if someone intentionally wants to do something bad to you, it's a question of why does it matter so much? Okay, guys? And if you don't deal with these thoughts before they happen, and when I mean deal with them, it's like be self-aware, be conscious of why you do what you do. Don't leave it to chance. Don't wait till anger opens that door and then you start to deal with these issues, because there's not enough time to take considerable thought before taking action. So you need like a waiting room, and that is where someone upsets you, you hold off on responding, and you just have a temporary response. That means this person is not worth it. And when you get back, you analyze that feeling to remove its toxicity, to remove its potency. Because when you have these little triggers, little episodes, and you do not attend to them, you experience or an emotion that you put away, that you don't resolve. It's like you're pushing it to a cooler, and that cooler is guarded by anger. Yes. Any unresolved emotion gets taken care of by anger. Okay. All right, guys. I do not want to stretch this video, so I'll probably talk about the physiological and psychological changes or processes that happen in our body with regards to anger in my next video. Yes, I know. I know I put this video away for a while, and I thought it's time to let's talk about anger. Okay? As we're nearing the end of 2020, hang in there, guys. Pray for yourself, pray for others, have hope, share love, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Okay, guys? Thank you. Bye-bye.